Please welcome last year's winner from Larian, Swen Vincke.
Listen, I gave...
Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Midgame Life Crisis. I am Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf.
And we are talking about the Game Awards speech by Swen Vincke, the Larian CEO, the absolute Gigachad that he is.
That's his middle name.
It should be his middle name, for sure. Yeah, Swen Gigachad Vincke, because this guy, every time he gets the opportunity to talk about the gaming industry, the health of the gaming industry, specifically the bigger AAA games, but also the AA industry, and a lot of the toxic practices that go in this industry, from the horrible turnover of people getting fired all the time, and how people treat their developers and their workers.
How games are becoming more and more expensive and actually giving you less and less with every year.
Yes, and how today it's more about retention and investor calls rather than enjoyment of the player and actually making a game that is fun. And we always talked about these things. Our channel is full of us talking about stuff like that all the time. And we highlight Swen and Larian all the time because this company never fails to use the spotlight, which they definitely deserve from Baldur's Gate 3's amazing success in 2023. Game of the Year.
And continued success.
Yes, and they use it every time they go on stage. Not only Swen, his other guys as well, the other workers as well there. Always use the time and opportunity to speak about the industry and trying to better the industry. And that's beautiful. It's beautiful. And in this Game Awards, it's no different. This speech by Swen will... Sorry for going too fucking sentimental, but it will echo in eternity of gaming, as they say. Like the Gladiator fucking speech, bro. What you do in life will echo in eternity.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Yes, this speech will echo in eternity of the gaming world. You haven't seen it yet, I have. I want to see your raw reaction to it, and let's talk about it. Alright, guys?
Let's see. What, no armor?
Not this time.
I realize you guys have been sitting here for over 3 hours, but I still have some time credits from last year to cash in, so...
So as you know, last year the Game Awards was very heavily criticized for rushing the developers that come to take the rewards and give their speeches, and they play them shut the fuck up music and get the fuck out of their music.
Yeah.
That happened a lot last year, and that was one of the biggest criticism against the Game Award, and they took that criticism to heart, and they actually let them talk this time around. But as you can see, the developers are not too shy at taking shots.
Well, they should.
They should, of course they should.
So it turns out that not only will I be the one who will know as first which game wins tonight, but I actually also know which game is going to win next year, the year after, and the year after. Now, how do I know this? Well, an oracle told me. She said, change is coming. It's a modern oracle, so they made me sign an NDA, but I trust all of you. I know you can keep a secret, you will never leak it. The oracle told me that the Game of the Year 2025 was going to be made by a studio who found the formula to make it up here on stage. It's stupidly simple, but somehow it keeps on getting lost. Studio made their game because they wanted to make a game that they wanted to play themselves. They created it because it hadn't been created before.
So he's quoting Blizzard. This is like the Blizzard quote of the Blizzard of all.
Of all Blizzard.
Yeah. The original Blizzard. People that actually started the studio.
Yes.
The studio that became the darling of the gaming industry for decades, just until Activision devoured it, basically. And this was like their motto. Goes all over in Jason Schreier's book about Blizzard, the old Blizzard. It's the same. They would force they didn't have to, but basically they would let the developers play the game, and they would just talk among themselves about what they liked and didn't like, and this is how they reiterated the games as they made them.
Not to mention they just made games that they themselves love playing. It's exactly what Swen is saying, yes.
That's what I'm saying, they played them during development.
Listen, every developer plays their game.
No, not
It
true.
doesn't necessarily mean they enjoy the game that they're playing. They're just going through the task of seeing that it's functional.
Yeah, that's not playing.
You know, that what they coded works, right?
Blizzard's players were playing. Like in their free time, they would go to the game.
They would play the game for their own enjoyment. And that's a huge difference that people don't understand. You know what I mean? Alright, let's keep going.
They didn't make it to increase market share. They didn't make it to service a brand. They didn't have to meet arbitrary sales targets or fear being laid off if they didn't meet those targets. And furthermore, the people in charge forbade them from cramming the game with anything whose only purpose was to increase revenue and didn't serve the game design.
Speak the truth, baby.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
He does it in such a polite way. He's such an unassuming, cool dude, like chill dude.
They're Swedish, right?
Yes, I think so. And he does it in such a polite way, and yet he's just giving you the cold ass truth. And he's putting it right in your face, and he's saying stuff that almost nobody has the balls to say. People inside the industry, I mean, not like small unknown YouTubers like us, or even big YouTubers. It doesn't matter what YouTubers say, or any of the media.
Or even media people.
Yeah, no, it's people inside the industry that need to speak up about this stuff, but they're petrified. They don't want to lose their jobs. But this dude just... He is in a unique position to not only have the words he say have weight to them, people in the industry listen to what he says. He's also a leader in the industry. He leads by example.
Exactly.
Which is the best way to lead anything in life, right?
He's not the first to surface these things or criticize the industry this way. But
of course not.
When he has stood behind a game that has reaped every single available reward there is in gaming, alright? A game that is still active, that he still has an impressive number of concurrent players, that is still being fucking updated, adding 12 subclasses after they said they won't update it anymore.
Yep.
They're basically giving you free DLCs to their baby. This thing has already been more successful than 10 other live service games that were made to be live service, that were made to keep you there forever, and this thing is already more successful than them, both temporally and by sales. And this is pure single player experience.
Yeah, and he actually says it, what you just said, he actually says exactly that. Let's keep it going.
They didn't treat their developers like numbers on a spreadsheet. They didn't treat their players as users to exploit. And they didn't make decisions they knew were short-sighted and function of a bonus or politics. They knew that if you put the game and the team first, the revenue will follow.
He says it in a beautiful way, that if you build it, they will come. That if you love it and you will care for it and you'll do it right, the money will come.
I gotta tell you, you said that he's, politely criticizing the industry, but he's not. He's, it's like in Dogma. He's like that Golgotha demon and he's just rolling all over them right now.
What is that thing?
An excremental, the Golgothan.
A what? A shit demon!
Oh, now the crowd gets into it, right? The crowd, at this point, the crowd starting to realize what's happening right now. At first, they thought this is just going to be another good speech. No, like, every time Swen goes up to take a prize, he always talk about this stuff. So they knew something is probably coming. But I don't think anyone knew it's going to be like this, brutal and yet amazing. Listen to this. Listen how the crowd gets into it.
Didn't treat their developers like numbers on a spreadsheet. They didn't treat their players as users to exploit. And they didn't make decisions they knew were short-sighted and function of a bonus or politics. They knew that if you put the game and the team first, the revenue will follow. They were driven by idealism and wanted players to have fun. And they realized that if the developers didn't have fun, nobody was going to have any fun.
A lot of those people sitting there, and you're watching them right now, smiling politely and clapping.
Yeah, you can see that it's a polite
Yes, a lot of those people are absolutely fucking petrified right now, bro. They're sitting there and they're saying, what is this man doing right now? He's this crazy bastard. What is he doing?
They're like, where's the napkin? We need to clean our face right now. Look, one of them has that face of, you smell that?
Let's keep going.
They understood the value of respect, that if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned. But above all, they cared about their game because they loved games. It's really that simple.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen! Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Sven.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is really is that simple.
It worked for years for Blizzard. It worked for Larian. It works for a lot of AA companies.
Not just AA. I mean,
even Cindy, yeah, sure.
the AAA companies used to do this. This is what made them huge as they are today. They used to make games like that before they became these huge corporations that don't give a shit about anything but numbers.
But then they sold out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not even selling out, man. You can still be a AAA company that publicly traded and you can still have morals and values. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to do that when you're publicly traded and you need to, the green arrow always goes up. But it's possible. It's the little things. You need to have a little bit more empathy. You need to, again, to remember why you're even making the game in the first place. Let's keep going.
But no. But you forget in the end. Because you live long enough to be the hero, or however that shit goes, then you become the villain.
You completely botched it. If you live the hero for long enough, eventually you become the villain.
The villain, yeah exactly. Yeah. So you have the case of Ubisoft, for example. Even though they're publicly traded, they kept control. Yves never left control of the company. It was always him calling the shots, and guess what? He lived long enough to become the villain.
Oh, he's 100% the mustache-twirling villain. There's many companies like that became villains. Like, again, Blizzard is the most...
But they changed CEOs.
Yeah.
This is a classic example because it's the same guy.
All right, let's
Go on.
It's almost over now.
Set the Oracle. Winning Game of the Year turned out to be a life-changing event for us. It was an amazing thing. To those who will win Game of the Year 2024, you have no idea what's waiting for you. It's an incredible honor, and you're in for a heck of a ride. Now remember, should you be told to wrap it up for tonight, you can always come back next year and chat for 3 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
That's it, basically.
That's great.
This is the speech, my friend. What's your take from it?
He should have worn an armor.
I think he didn't wear any costumes because he wanted it to be a serious speech, and he was afraid that if he came in...
I get that.
Listen, man, this dude, God bless him, you know? He's so important for the gaming industry right now, I feel like.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people like that left in the gaming industry these days. Like, at least not that are vocal, right? Most of them are petrified.
They are there, but if you're not in a position of power, if you're a mid-level developer in some giant corporation, what does it matter that you want to make the games you love? No one's gonna care.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that completely.
Most of the developers that go into this business go from a dream, and then that dream gets shat on by corporations.
And corporations abuse that shit. I mean, the fact that you're a fan of it means that you'll agree to come and work for less money. It's that simple.
Look at today's Blizzard. They are literally starving their employees, and those employees are only there because it was the dream of working in Blizzard.
Well, we are seeing more and more employees now starting to unionize, which is very, very smart, very important. Not fast enough.
Yes.
But it is starting to happen. They are wising up, and a lot of it has to do with because of people, absolute gigachads like Sven, who uses his position. He didn't have to do this. He doesn't have to go up on stage and talk about this shit. He can just glaze his own game and say how great Baldur's Gate is and how everyone loves his game and gives number, you know.
But he cares about this industry. He wants it to.
Yes,
improve.
that's what I mean. He doesn't even use the time to say how amazing he does, of course, always give amazing credit to his team and all that stuff. But he will always use the spotlight because he knows people will listen to him to bring up these critical issues about the gaming industry. And for that, I give him an immense respect. All right, guys, let us know below what do you think about Swen Vincke and his crazy speeches he does every year. Do you think we need to see more of that? Do you think we should see more CEOs of successful companies speaking up about these matters and not being so afraid and just, especially the smaller companies that are not like beholden to shareholders, just speak up about these matters and use these big platforms and big stages to bring light to it? Let us know below.
Hold the torch.
Yeah, exactly. Midgame Life Crisis, I am Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf.
We are out.
See ya.